Hey, I'm Ben Wallfisch. This is my little studio. We call it the Scoring Lab, and want to welcome you. This is kind of cool.
So tell me about what this certification means.
The whole justification for building this place was to explore Atmos. And we approached Dolby to see if we could collaborate with them to come up with a room which we could kind of call the scoring mix room as well as a dub stage.
That's cool. Well, let's check it out. All right, so walk us through here. What are we looking at?
So these are just the two rooms of the studio. There's pretty much just this in here is the mix room. So this is the room which we rent out.
And to your average person, they just assume everything must be like this, right? What makes this special?
Okay, so it was an open warehouse. And so this room is a room inside a room. It's floating. It's fully acoustically treated. All the walls are actually fabric walls with very dense acoustic material inside to absorb all the sound. There are no, so for example, things like bass accumulating, it's all taken care of. So the idea is that you're in this room and the only thing you're hearing are the speakers and there's just no reflections. And this was Peter Gruneisen's design, the idea of this kind of interlocking spaces for the speakers and the recessed lighting. It's kind of amazing the effect that has as well, because this obviously hasn't got any windows, which is also not ideal. But the recessed lighting kind of gives this sense of it's like a moonlit room somehow. It's kind of a very peaceful Zen place to be. And of course my daughter comes in and turns on the disco lights. Behind the screen we have, this is a transparent screen. So we have three ATC SCM150s for the LCR. And then we have three JL subs, which are all matched. And then on the horizontal plane, we have the 9 speakers.
This is mostly going to be sound teams, I guess, that are mixing things, right? Or do you use this in
I use this a lot.
You do?
All of my scores we mix in here. But yeah, we rent it out for it. We've had lots of final dubs come into the room. We had this desk set up so that it's a dual operator. So that means you can have the dialogue mixer, music mixer here, and then the sound design guy here. It's a small room, and it was designed for streaming. It's not a theatrical, but we've had Apple in here and Netflix a few times to do their final mixes, and it's one of those rooms which, because it's also a very small and very simple facility, we offer a kind of like a lockout situation. It's very private, so people can just come and use it and just treat it like their living room.
When this room isn't booked out on some Friday night, can you push this out of the way and do a movie night?
We have done that. Yeah, we haven't pushed this out of the way yet, but we have done some movie nights here, which is always fun. The idea really of this facility is that the mix room kind of justifies the existence of this writing space, because just building the space without that would be nuts. Yeah, this is so cool.
Well, you say writing.
Yeah.
But what form does that writing take? I would assume you're not pencil and paper.
Well, it depends really on the step of the process. I'll often spend quite a lot of time at the piano sketching on paper, but only, if I'm like the very beginning stages, there's something very familiar about, just having that acoustic response. This is very lucky to have this Bösendorfer. It's just a very beautiful response. Because Bösendorfer were bought by Yamaha, they've retrofitted with the disc clavier system. So this is actually a MIDI'd piano. I can play it from here too. And it's right there, so we can then play with that and see where that might take us. Depending on the on the tempo, we could obviously.
Seems like it's also maybe a nice way to freak a director out.
You can do that, yeah. But if you want to go twice as fast.
So there's some function, yeah.
There's it's mostly me just messing around, but there's a lot of. I do try and record the acoustic thing for the demos. This is something I've never really thought I'd have access to. Just having these analog synths just on. I feel it's really fun just to be able to just whatever happens to be. And this is it's got some lovely, it's very tactile instruments, and of course the Moog. It's nuts what this thing inspires. No, we was are. And yeah. You want to put that with your string section, you're in business. For me, mostly it was about just making a space that others can come in and use freely and experiment. That's why we call it the scoring lab, or the mix lab is the name of the mix room, just so that it really feels like a place of where you can just, all the rules don't apply, and you can just try things, and time is no object. Well, that's my crazy studio. Hope you enjoyed the little tour, and thanks for stopping by.
Follow Score, the podcast, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and X.